founder of the Trust, Angela Francis, joins me now. Angela, kia ora, thanks for your time today.
Kia ora, Andrew. Very happy to be here.
Talk to us about the Trust, why it was set up, why there is tragically a need for something like this in New Zealand.
So St. Nicholas Children's Trust was born out of a desire to raise awareness of child sexual exploitation. And we felt it was really important to do that because it's a bit of a sensitive topic.
Yep.
And people are not comfortable to talk about it. But importantly, we now know that one child every 8 seconds across the world is sexually exploited.
Wow.
And within New Zealand, the statistics are quite horrifying. For example, last couple of weeks ago, the Lancet released their research that now 1 in 5 boys and 1 in 3 girls will be sexually abused by the time they're 16 years of age. So we're really concerned about that.
That is absolutely shocking, and I think people will, as I say, be still processing that this problem is so significant within New Zealand. Something else which I found quite startling is not only is the problem significantly high, but things are much worse here than in many other countries around the world. We're getting something wrong that other people are doing much better in.
Yes, I think, and that's an interesting point. But can I first say, Andrew, that the commonality of child sexual exploitation, the normality of the offenders, but the increase in this is, for example, last Wednesday, RNZ covered Simon Peterson, the head of the online child sexual abuse unit there.
Yeah.
And he said that they receive 100 reports a month, but to date they've been able to arrest 13 child sex offenders. So it goes to show the huge increase in the figures and what that is. And what we say at St. Nicholas Children's Trust is that there are push-pull factors that contribute to this incident. So, for example, pornography, we know that, in fact, research last week released from the University of Otago indicated that of the 100% of men who access pornographic sites, 3 to 5% are sexually attracted to children.
Gosh.
So that's roughly 80,000 men in New Zealand today who are sexually attracted to children.
Gosh.
And we also know it doesn't hit any, it has no bounds in terms of, it could be police, for example. Last week again in the media we saw Mr. Mick Skimming, brought out to the fore again. The police are doing great work now in auditing their computers for misuse of these for child abuse material.
Yeah.
But I think what's really important, Andrew, is to focus on what child sexual exploitation actually is, because it can be confusing for people. So it's actually, sorry.
No. I was just going to say that the distinction here, yes, online exploitation is an absolutely awful thing, but putting it into context, it's not just online. It's not just people accessing images of children from overseas being abused. What's happening here in New Zealand is New Zealand children being abused, and most often by people who are known to the family.
Yes, you're correct, Andrew. The majority of children who are sexually exploited know their offender. And we also know with the introduction of AI that that's becoming worse.
Yeah.
But it could be someone next door. It's often exists in a family situation. And we say at St. Nicholas Trust that if something feels off to you or something doesn't feel right with a child, to please do something about that.
Yeah.
Go and talk to someone, because that is really important, really important. One of the charities I worked with overseas said their motto was, nothing is more important than the life of a child. And we know this is difficult to talk about. We know, we have a saying, let's talk about what we don't want to talk about. But it's becoming the latest emergent social justice issue of our time. God's children are not for sale. They were never designed to be exploited in this way. The commonality is frightening, and we need to raise awareness. We need to be talking about this. Child sexual exploitation it's an umbrella term that covers child sexual abuse material, online child sexual exploitation, child sexual abuse, and child marriage. So they're the four main areas that fall under child sexual exploitation. It's very sad that we need to exist, Andrew, but we do. We will never stop until child sexual exploitation ceases to exist. And we know that's possibly unrealistic. But all we need is 3.5% of our population across the Motu to then make what we call transformational change, because we want to make the conversation more comfortable to have, and that is our purpose. And to raise awareness in the public arena is critical. We are the only charity in New Zealand to do this, and we will not stop, because God's children are not for sale.
Angela, this is so shocking, but I suppose we need to move beyond the shocked and appalled to some action, to what can we do as a society to keep children safer, to change the way in which the laws that we have. I know that you've got an event coming up halfway through November, a silent march that people can participate with. What's the details on that, Angela?
So we run 4 marches a year across the Motu. So the next one is on the 15th of November in Mount Maunganui. And it's simply a 10-minute silent march. We have everyone from children to grandparents marching with us. We walk in single file. We don a black face mask to wear across our lips to signify that the children who are being sexually exploited are not allowed to speak out. In fact, when they do, they're not believed. So we stand with them, we stand for them, we stand in the gap.
Wow.
And that is what our march is all about. We always get a couple of members of Parliament along to join us on our marches. So this march is no exception. We have Member of Parliament Jan Tinetti, and we also have Member of Parliament Cameron Luxton. We're expecting quite a few people at this march, but it's simply, again, to raise awareness through our silence, but also to be a signal to those children who may be watching that some people are taking them seriously and are taking this issue seriously.
Such an important topic. Yes, difficult to talk about, but so important that we're not silent on this issue. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Very welcome. Thank you, Andrew.